الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا وحبيبنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. اللهم إنا نسألك علما نافعا سيأمين ورزقا طيبا وعملا صالحا متقبلا يا رب العالمين. اللهم فقهنا في الدين وعلمنا التأويل. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Before I begin the dars, I want to, of course, let everyone know and inform them that Dr. Shahidul Islam is now with his Lord, rahimahullah. Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Let's make dua for him first, inshallah. Allahumma ighfir lahu warhamhu wa'afihi wa'fu anhu wa akrim nuzulahu wa wasi' mudkhalahu واغسله بالماء والثلج والبرد ونقه من الخطايا كما ينقى الثوب الأبيض من الدنس. اللهم يمن كتابه ويسر حسابه وثقل بالحسنات ميزانه وأدخله في الجنات بجوار حبيبك ومصطفاك صلى الله عليه وسلم. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that just as He used to be from those in the first row, that He be from those that are the first to enter into Jannah, Ya Rabbil Alameen. And just as He was someone who implemented the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in the dunya, that He gets His suhbah and His jiwar in the akhirah, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Inshallah, the janazah will be tomorrow at Salahuddin Center. Sorry, I always make this mistake. Salahuddin Graveyard, 1 p.m. Dhuhr will be there. The janazah will also be there. So pray Dhuhr there. And also the janazah will be right after 1 p.m. sharp, Salahuddin Graveyard. We want people to attend our janazah. Please attend his janazah, inshallah. And you will get the reward as well. If you follow the janazah and you attend the janazah, what's the reward? 2 mountains of Uhud of hasanat. So don't lose the opportunity, inshallah ta'ala, of attending the janazah tomorrow, bidnillah ta'ala. Again, 1 p.m. Salahuddin Graveyard, inshallah. Also, I have a personal request. My paternal grandmother, she is bed rest now. She's very, very old, of course, close to 90, perhaps even older. Please make dua for shifa. Asallallahu ta'ala Rabbil Arshil Azim an yashfiha shifa'an ajilan la yughadiru saqama. Subhanallah, these people, special people, very, very special people, when they leave our communities, you wonder who's going to take in the roles that they left. I mean, Dr. Ma'inuddin earlier this year, rahimahullah, may Allah have mercy on him, who filled in his position? Dr. Shahidul Islam, now that passed away, rahimahullah, who's going to fill in his role? We need to step up. We're the generation that needs to step up and fill in these roles and support and be a part of our community in all ways that we can. Financially, physically, volunteering, whatever you can. Sacrifice for the path of Allah Azza wa Jal. Sacrifice for the deen of Islam. Not just for your own personal interest, but sacrifice as the people before us have. Inshallah, now we're covering Imam Nawawi's Tibyan fi adabi hamalat al-Quran. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow us to benefit from the ulum and the knowledge of Imam Nawawi. Say Ameen. And to have mercy on his soul, Ya Rabbil Alameen. He goes still talking about the etiquettes and qualities of the teacher. Okay? Teaching in order of arrival. When there are many students, the teacher gives precedence in instructing his students according to the order in which they arrive. Meaning that let's say he has a halaqah and many students are going to read to him. He's going to read to him, he's going to read to him, he's going to read to him. Should he be biased towards who he chooses and let's go first? No, what should he do? Whoever came first gets to read first. First come, first serve. That's a simple thing. Just so that there shows equality in the dars. Now, and then he mentions, if the first student approves that another be given precedence, it is duly given. So unless, let's say there's a student who has a doctor's appointment, and he came a little bit later, you're going to say, no, you cannot, he has to go somewhere. Okay, then you let him read, and then you let him be dismissed. Or let's say the shaykh, he has his own structure of how he handles the classes. Meaning that this student is more advanced and he has a lot of things on his plate. I'm going to let him read first because he has more things to do and catch up on. The students that have less on their plate, maybe they can read a little bit later. It's not going to really affect the classroom structure. So each shaykh will of course, it really depends. But the shaykh should be just and he should be equal with all of his students, not giving precedence to one and then making this person always later, even though he's always the one that's coming first. You all know Imam Nafi', the great Imam of Medina, the two rawis, Qalun and Warsh. Qalun was from his family. He was his stepson, okay? And he was in Medina. So Imam Nafi is the Qari and the teacher of Medina. Even Imam Malik read to him, okay? Imam Nafi. Warsh came all the way from Egypt. And he came and he was older in age as well. And mashallah, he already had a beautiful recitation. And it's not like traveling from Egypt to Medina now. We're talking about the journey of several hundred years ago. Allahu Alam how their journey was, how long he had to take. And so when he came, and they know that he came all the way from Egypt, and then they heard him recite so beautifully to Imam Nafi', all of the students, they say, we give him our portion, we give him our portion, we give him our portion. Just so why? So that within that small time frame that he was there, I believe it was a month, he read 2 khatmas to him, he would be able to prioritize time on Imam Warsh, because he came from such a far distance. So again, but you have to take in consideration all of the students that are there, so that you don't break anyone's heart, and that you don't take advantage of some students over others. This is very important, to be equal. The teacher, he should show them joy and a cheerful face. He should be sweet and kind to them, not harsh and stern and firm, to the point where the students now are like, man, he's so mean to me, he's so rude to me, why is he abusing me with his words? Never once did he say anything kind to me or smile in my face. Imam Tajuddin al-Subki, rahimahullah, he had 2 teachers, Imam Dhahabi and Imam al-Mizzi. Imam al-Dhahabi was sweet and kind and easy to get, easy going. And so Imam Tajuddin al-Subki, he would go to Imam al-Dhahabi 14 times a week, 2 times a day, because of how much, because he was young and he was easygoing. Imam al-Mizzi was stern, firm, and he had like a haiba to him, and so he would only go to him twice a week. So even Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah told him, وَلَوْ كُنْتَ فَضًّا غَلِيظَ الْقَلْبِ لَنْفَضُّوا مِنْ حَوْلِكَ. If you were harsh, even you, Ya Rasulullah, who has wahi, people would turn away from you. So to be gentle, to be kind, this is the quality that a teacher should have. All of us should have. إِنَّ الرِّفْقَ لَا يَكُونُ فِي شَيْءٍ إِلَّا زَانَهُ. Gentleness doesn't enter into anything except that it beautifies it. وَلَا يُنْزَعُ مِنْ شَيْءٍ إِلَّا شَانَهُ. And it's not taken away from anything except it does the opposite. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us al-rifq al-Muhammadi, the gentleness of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The teacher, he should inquire about their circumstances. How is my student doing? How is his family life? What's going on? What's on his plate? And ask about someone who is absent. Why wasn't my student here today in class? What happened? Where was he? Why didn't he come? Some people, they think it's above them. Some teachers, they think it's above them. That why should I call my student? My student, he should come to me. I'm older, he studied with me, he should come to me. There's a line of poetry where it says, تفقد السادات خدامهم مكرمة لا تنقص السؤددا هذا سليمان على ملكه قد قال ما لي لا أرى الهدهدا. Sulaiman alayhi salam, he was asking, where's Hudhud? Where's the little bird Hudhud? Where is he? He's asking about Hudhud, right? So the scholars, they mentioned this line of poetry, that it doesn't take away from your status and who you are or lower you. In fact, it honors you more when you inquire about even your students. And I can say from my own personal experience, with my own teacher, Sheikh Sa'id Bakdash, the son-in-law of Sheikh Awama, he calls me more than I call him. He calls me more than I call him. If I look at all of the phone calls that I've gotten from my Sheikh, it's way more than I've called him. And never is it from the sense that, oh, why isn't he calling me? I'm the bara, I'm the big one, I'm the older one, I'm the one who he's learning from. No. The teacher also inquires and asks about the student. So never feel like it's taking away from your status from asking from those that are lesser. Where are they? Where's my students? These are things all that a teacher should do. Then he goes into students with unsound intentions. The scholars, rahimahumullah, they said, do not deny anyone instruction. Do not stop anyone from learning, and don't stop teaching them because of some problems in their intentions. First of all, do you even know what's in the deep, deep hearts? إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَعْلَمُ خَائِنَةَ الْأَعْيُنِ وَمَا تُخْفِي الصُّدُورُ. Only Allah knows what is deep, deep in the hearts. But let's say you know that the student is only there because his parents are forcing him. It happens sometimes. Parents are forcing him to be in the class. Doesn't mean, oh, his parents are forcing him, I'm not going to teach him. No, you still keep teaching him. Because, my shaykh would always say, Al-Quran yuslihuhu. The Quran will fix him up. The studying will fix him up. The talab al-ilm will fix him up alone by itself. Sufyan al-Thawri, he used to say, their seeking knowledge is an intention in itself. Deal with people with the apparent, the fact that this student is coming to learn, this is enough for you to be able to go and then teach them. Don't think, what's his intention? Is he doing it to show off later? Why is he doing it? Don't think about that. Still teach them. Many of the scholars, from them Imam al-Ghazali, he said, طَلَبْنَا الْعِلْمَ لِغَيْرِ اللَّهِ فَأَبَى أَنْ يَكُونَ إِلَّا لِلَّهِ. We sought knowledge for reasons other than Allah, but the knowledge refused to be other than for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jalla. Why is this? Can anyone explain this to me? He says, we sought knowledge for other than Allah, but knowledge refused to be other than for the sake of Allah. Why? Because the amount of hard work and sincerity and no appreciation and effort and nights on end without sleeping and all of the effort that a person has to do to be able to pursue knowledge, at the end of the day, nobody's going to give you value for all of that time and all of that effort that you're spending. Away from family, away from this, away from that. The only one that can do that is Allah Azza wa Jal. So in the process of studying, it cleans you up. It cleans you up. Allahumma ja'alna min mukhlisin ya Rabbil Alameen. May Allah make us of those of ikhlas ya Rabb. The next thing the Shaykh mentions, Imam Nawawi, he says, the Shaykh should not fidget during his recitation, during the recitation of the students. During the recitation, the teacher should not fidget with his hands. And he should also teach his students. When you're reading and you're in a Quran halaqah and you're reading for several hours on end, have you noticed students do this? Have you noticed? This is okay, because then otherwise if you're sitting like this for 4 hours, you get, wallahi, it's very tiring. Sitting for 4 hours and you're just like this. But if you move a little bit, it's fine. But when I would read to my shuyukh for ijazah specifically, they would say no. Straight up, don't move your hands, don't look around, be serious. And the shaykh should also show that to his students. And some students, unfortunately, or even some teachers, they'll start putting their hands and putting it in between their toes. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. It's getting some toe jam out. I don't know what's going on over there. That's inappropriate. You're teaching Quran, you're touching the mushaf, you're giving salams to people, and then your fingers are all inside your toes. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. That's nasty, isn't it? Right? So the teacher shouldn't be fidgeting with his hands and putting it all over the place, okay? The teacher should be clean and kept, like that. And he should keep, and there's a story, by the way, where there was a student and he had his Quran on his lap, like this, on his thighs. And some man came across to him, and some shaykh came to him. He said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, نَزَلَ بِهِ الرُّوحُ الْأَمِينَ عَلَى عَوْرَتِكَ. Ruh al-Amin, who is that? Jibreel alayhi salam. Jibreel alayhi salam came down with the Quran, right? He came down with the Quran. نَزَلَ بِهِ الرُّوحُ الْأَمِينَ عَلَى قَلْبِكَ. Where was it revealed? In the heart. So he said, نَزَلَ بِهِ الرُّوحُ الْأَمِينَ عَلَى عَوْرَتِكَ. You're putting the Quran on your thighs like this. Have some respect and dignity. Elevate it to your heart. Hold it properly. نَزَلَ بِهِ الرُّوحُ الْأَمِينَ عَلَى قَلْبِكَ not عَلى عَوْرَتِكَ عَلى فَخِذِكَ astaghfirullah. Right? So these are things that the teacher should keep in mind. And he should keep his eyes from needlessly glancing about, looking here, looking there, looking here, constantly getting distracted. The shaykh should be in a position of haiba, listening properly, attentively, fully focused. A lot of us, we suffer from something. You know what it is? Because of all of the, the information overload that we have from different social media devices, and you have messages from WhatsApp, and then you have your emails, and then you have messages, and then you have, Allah al-Azim, sometimes I'm like, I don't know where it's coming from. It's like raining on top of you from notifications, right? And because of that, and then YouTube and all of this, we're so used to information overload that we don't know how to put things aside and just focus on one thing. To the point where sometimes we even want to converse with our family. Our wife will be talking to us. Yeah, I'm here with you. Or your family will be trying. I'm listening to you. We don't know how to focus. We need to give people our focus, and even the teacher should be giving the focus to the students. He sits, the teacher, while being in a state of tahara, while being in a state of wudu, teaching Quran. You should be in a state of wudu, facing the qibla. And he sits with dignity, his clothes white and clean. Why? Are these all like like things that you have to do, or these are things adab? Adab. These are things that are recommended to do. Why white and clean? Because I'm wearing the white hat and because that's why I'm reading it? No, why? Because the best color, the most beloved color to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was which one? White. He said, wear white because it's cleaner and more pure. And subhanAllah, even just when you look from your eyes, when you look at someone wearing white, doesn't it look, subhanAllah, has like a nur to it? Even if the person like me is dark, not in skin, I'm talking about dark in sins, but it just looks nurani, right? And so a person should always try to wear white, especially the teacher and the student of Quran, they should always wear white. It's very, very beautiful.
But you are not that.
And he should be in a state of tahara. Imam Malik, how would he teach hadith? He would take a shower, he would wear his best clothes, he would put on the best, the oud and this, that, and then he would go to teach hadith as though he is a king. That's how a teacher should be of Quran, that you be in a state that shows what you are representing. And even the students as well, and facing the qibla and with in a position of dignity. Okay, when he reaches the place in which he sits to teach, he prays 2 rak'ahs before actually sitting. Okay, when you come in the masjid, what do you pray? Tahiyatul masjid. What if you enter into the masjid several times in the day? You pray one time or several times? Huh? Different madhahib say different things. The Hanafi madhab, if you're coming several times, Fajr, Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha, if you do it one time in that day, it's enough. Your Tahiyatul Masjid is good. If you don't pray Tahiyatul Masjid, then this is disliked. Unless, of course, can Fard Salah act as Tahiyatul Masjid? Yes, yeah. Can Fard Salah act as Tahiyatul? Any Salah can act as Tahiyatul Masjid. Okay? In reality, is it Tahiyatul Masjid? No, it's Tahiyatu Rabbil Masjid. It's the tahiyyah of the Lord of the masjid. Not just the masjid, but the Lord of the masjid. What about the khutbah? What if the shaykh is giving the khutbah, or the imam is giving the khutbah? Should a person do tahiyyatul masjid? No. Different madhahib, different opinions. The Maliki and Hanafi opinion is that if the imam is doing it, don't, because then are you going to concentrate on the khutbah or are you going to concentrate on your salah? Shafi'i madhab, go ahead and pray. It's okay. Different madhahib, different opinions. Don't be like, hey, you're not following this, you're not following that. Remember, there are many diverse people with different madhahib. Then we should facilitate for all of them, not be like, oh, he's praying, he's not praying. Leave people alone. But if you're going to be Shafi'i, please don't stand in front of me while I'm doing it, because I get distracted. One time I was doing the khutbah, someone stood right in front of me, he's doing up, down, ruku', sujood. I lost you kind of lose focus. So it depends. So Imam Bukhari, whenever he would go to write down a hadith, which is in Sahih al-Bukhari, what would he do? Pray 2 rak'ahs. So the shaykh, when he goes and prepares himself to then teach Quran, he's preparing himself, getting his connection pure with Allah and asking for tawfiq. He should do this especially in the masjid, and even if it isn't in the masjid, okay, then whether or not the location is in a mosque. Let's say he has a Quran halaqah somewhere else, maybe in a madrasa, a school, a university. Still, wherever he's going to teach, then he should pray it. But then it wouldn't be tahiyatul masjid, it would just be 2 rak'ah, preparing yourself, cleaning yourself up before going and asking for tawfiq in your teaching. This practice is more emphatic if it is in the mosque, since it is offensive to sit in a masjid. Yukrah, disliked. All of the fuqaha, they say it's makruh to sit in the masjid without having prayed 2 rak'ahs. So if you come, make the practice of just praying 2 rak'ahs, or if the fard salah or this, that, do that and then sit down. Also, he may sit cross-legged, okay? Abu Bakr as-Sijistani relates with his chain of transmission that Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu, say radiallahu anhu, would have people recite to him in the mosque while being in a position of jathiyah. وَتَرَى كُلَّ أُمَّةٍ جَاثِيَةٍ. It's like this, kneeling. You're not like completely sitting, you're not standing. Like it's in a state of humility, like this. This is how he would do it, right? And the best jilsa, of course, is the way Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to sit. How did Jibreel sit when he came in front of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Like this, like this, like you're sitting in tashahhud. So the best way to teach Quran and to study Quran is in this tashahhud style, the most etiquette. But some people, it starts hurting their knees. You sit here for 2, 3, 4 hours, it's going to hurt. So then just start with that. Some shuyukh, they would start with that and then they would go back to sitting normally. Imam Jibreel alayhi salam, the hadith Jibreel, which all of you should study, memorize and teach to your kids as well. When he asks what is Iman, what is Islam, what is Ihsan, all of those things, when is the day of judgment, What are the signs of the Day of Judgment? He didn't just come to teach us Iman, Islam, Ihsan, this, that. He also came to teach us how should the student sit in front of the teacher. Like the tashahhud position, knee to knee, right there to take the knowledge. SubhanAllah. That's also one of the things that we learn from how Jibreel alayhi salam, from the hadith of Jibreel. So that's how the teacher should sit. Okay. Continuing on. Not disgracing knowledge. It is an emphasized etiquette that the teacher not disgrace the status of knowledge by teaching in a place associated with his student, whether the student is the caliph or a lesser person. Al-ilmu yu'ta wa la ya'ti. You come to knowledge. Knowledge doesn't come to you. We need to realize this. Don't wait for knowledge to come to you. So the shaykh, the alim, he shouldn't put himself in a position, this is out of the izzah of knowledge. If you want knowledge, you come according to my time. You want knowledge, you come to me, not I go to you. Case by case. Let's say a teacher, he doesn't have a masjid, he doesn't have a place, and then he goes and teaches at the house. That's different, okay? But if in other than that case, then the teacher should come to the student or the student should come to the teacher? Student should come to the teacher. Because if that doesn't happen, then the student starts to belittle the knowledge. You come according to the teacher's time. You come to the teacher rather than otherwise, because then the ilm, you start to lose the value of it. If you start to lose the value of the bearer of the person of knowledge, then also you start to lose the value of the knowledge itself. There's a line of poetry, وَلَوْ أَنَّ أَهْلَ الْعِلْمِ صَانُوهُ صَانَهُمْ وَلَوْ عَظَّمُوهُ فِي النُّفُوسِ لَعُظِّمَ وَلَكِنْ أَهَانُوهُ فَهَانُ. And then it goes until the end. When the scholars, they glorify knowledge, it will be glorified. And when you start to belittle it yourself by doing this, that, it starts to be belittled as well. So that's why Imam Malik, when he used to teach like a king. He used to teach like he was a caliph. He had a haiba to him. And this is how the teacher should as well be. Instead, he safeguards the knowledge from this, just as the Salaf did as well, rahimahumullah. There's many examples of this from the lives of the pious predecessors. The last part is the teacher's assembly, his gathering should be spacious enough to accommodate his audience. There's a hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, خَيْرُ الْمَجَالِسِ أَوْسَعُهَا. The best of majalis and assemblies and gatherings are the ones that are the most spacious. أَوْسَعُهَا. Because then students can have more space and it's more comfortable. Otherwise, it's going to be very hot, very sticky, too close. So the best gatherings should be spacious and open. Alhamdulillah, look how beautiful our masjid is. How many halaqat we have, and we have an open, beautiful space. And inshallah, even with the expansion, we'll even have more and more space, Ya Rabbil Alameen. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us the best teachers of Quran, to make us the best students of Quran, to make us people of Quran, and to have the akhlaq of our beloved Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Please don't forget the janazah tomorrow, please, inshallah.